Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into Deuteronomy chapter 11. And let me tell you, we aren't just looking at some dusty list of ancient rules here. This text is framed as a high-stakes, ultimate ancient contract. It's an urgent, impassioned address to a people standing right on the precipice of a brand new world, and it lays out the absolute, non-negotiable terms for their survival.
And it cuts right to the chase. It sets up an incredibly stark, unavoidable binary choice for the ancient Israelites. On one side, you have the blessing, which is promised for strict obedience to the commandments. On the other, the curse, which is the inevitable, catastrophic fallout of turning aside to follow other gods. So, yeah, there is zero middle ground here. It's one or the other.
Now, you might be thinking this is all just an appeal to blind faith, right? Actually, it's grounded directly in their own historical memory. The text explicitly points to what the Israelites witnessed with their own two eyes: the miracles against Pharaoh's army in Egypt, the wild providence of surviving the wilderness journey, and even those terrifying internal rebellions where the earth literally swallowed dissenters whole. The message is clear: remember what you just survived.
Which brings us to a massive and frankly surprising ecological shift. You see, back in the land of Egypt, survival relied on predictable, hard human labor, sowing seed and watering it by foot, like a simple herb garden. But this new promised land? It's a land of hills and valleys entirely dependent on drinking the rain of heaven. It requires literal divine favor from the sky just to function.
So what does this all mean? It introduces a terrifying vulnerability to their new home. Because they're now entirely dependent on the weather, the text issues a stark warning. If they serve other gods, the consequences are immediate. The heavens will shut tight, the rain will stop, and they'll perish quickly. It's a harsh geographical reality tied completely to their spiritual obedience.
Well, to prevent that kind of environmental disaster, the text outlines a radical lifestyle of total cultural immersion. It's not just about thinking good thoughts, They had to lay up these words in their heart and soul, literally bind them as physical signs on their hands, and teach them constantly to their kids, whether they were sitting, walking, or lying down. They were even told to carve them right into their doorposts and gates. They were turning their very homes and bodies into physical memory hacks. But hey, the payoff for this complete devotion? The geopolitical rewards are absolutely massive. The text promises prolonged days and total invincibility. It guarantees God will drive out much greater, mightier nations, expanding their borders from the wilderness in Lebanon all the way to the Euphrates River. Literally no man will be able to stand in their way. And here's the kicker. This abstract existential choice wasn't just left on parchment. It was literally mapped onto the physical geography of the land itself. They were commanded to place the blessing upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Mount Abel. That means every single time they looked up at the skyline, they'd see their ultimate ultimatum staring right back at them. It's a fascinating look at how an ancient culture engineered its own survival through landscape, daily routines, and shared memory, which leaves us with a pretty big question to ponder. Without literally binding words to our hands or carving them onto the sides of mountains, how do modern societies successfully pass down their most critical values today? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning.